Hi, it's me RAYAMAJHI from BBC IELTS Center Butwal. If you want to get the best IELTS score, I would like you to visit my YouTube channel to get a lot of information regarding IELTS test preparation. Please do visit my channel. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. And what about you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. This is IELTS Speaking Test taking place at BBC IELTS Center Butwal. My name is RAYAMAJHI. Can you please tell me your full name?
Well, my name is Susan Ringmi, but you can simply call by my first name, Susan.
Okay. Where do you come from?
Actually, I live with my parents in Butwal, and I have been traveling for my IELTS class from my hometown, Butwal.
Oh. How long have you been living there?
I have been living here from 2012 because before that we used to live in Kapil Vastu. So recently we transferred here in Butwal.
Okay. Can I see your identification, please?
Yes, sir. Here it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, in this part of the test, I want to ask you some questions about future. Are you worried about your future?
Yes, sir. I think every youth used to worry about the future because future is really important for us. And if we have a good, secure future, then definitely we will live a happy and healthy life. So that's why, yes, I'm also worried about the future.
What do you like to do in your future? Would you like to have a job, or you would like to have your own business?
As far as I'm concerned, I will definitely operate a new type of restaurant where I will utilize all my knowledge which I have gained from my universities, and I will establish different kind of restaurant in my own country.
Different restaurants, or one restaurant you want to establish?
I want to open a franchisee restaurant.
Franchise restaurants. That's very fantastic. Okay. And how useful will English be for your future, and why?
I think English is a prominent language all over the world because English is the only language which was spoken by widely, and definitely it will help my in the education field also to interact with many guests because I am from hospitality industry, so I have to interact with many guests. So English is the only one language which I used to use.
Okay, good. Do you enjoy speaking English?
Yes, obviously I used to enjoy a lot while I'm speaking with foreigner, or sometimes I used to speak with my tutors, IELTS tutors, as well as, yes, I find really interested and it's enjoyable language.
So, how much do you hope to travel, or how much do you hope traveling in the future? Do you hope that you'll be traveling a lot in the future?
With regards to traveling, I think I prefer to travel all around the world because I am very keen on traveling. As per my experience, also last year I traveled in India, so that was a Goa, and that was a really wonderful travel I have ever done. So yes, I love traveling in your upcoming days.
You love traveling alone or with friends?
It depends upon situations. If I have to go for traveling for my personal reason, then I prefer to travel alone. But if I have to,
But you
go
know,
for,
most of the people say that they enjoy traveling when they are with the friends.
as I already mentioned, it depends upon the situation. In what situation we are deciding to travel to any other places, so it depends on situation.
Okay, how do you think your life will change in the future, and why?
I think definitely my life will change in future because from now onwards I'm struggling so hard and I'm working day by day to improve my life quality in the future days. So yes, it will heavily changed and it will have a huge impact on my life in the upcoming days.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, now in this part of the test, I'm going to give you a topic, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have 1 minute and you have to prepare a short speech.
Sure, sir.
Make sure that your speech includes all the follow-up questions. Is that okay? Okay, this is your topic, and I give you a piece of paper. You can make notes if you like. You can make notes if you like, okay? Now your time is starts. Okay. Okay, now you can start your speech.
Sure, sir. Well, if I really have to describe about a book which I enjoyed recently, and because of that book, I had to think a lot. Will we have girlfriend? Actually, this book was written by Chetan Bhagat, who was a famous writer in India, and I was really fan of him. He's a great novelist also. And one day, my sister suggested me to study this book because this book was really full of complicated stories. Actually, this book was related with a guy from Bihar and a girl from Delhi, and it was a really interesting book. And I went through each and every pages of this book, and I found really interesting characters on that book. And one of the most important factor which I found in that book was the complicated love story between them because they belongs from different caste, and India is the only one country where the different caste intercaste marriages are not allowed it in that much. So because of that systems, the both guy and girl were facing a lot of problems, and because of that story, I used to think a lot what will happen the next, whether they will meet or whether they will end their love story or not. And because of that reason, I read that book each and every time. Well, after reading two times only, I got a full understanding of that book, and it was really complicated love story. And yes, that book was really interesting for me. And if I have to suggest any of my friends, then definitely I will suggest them to read this Half Girlfriend book. Along with that, last year, because of that book has been most popular in my country, so they decided to really release a movie based on that book also. And the book was and the movie both were same, and the story was same, and it was really fantastic book that I had ever read.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Thank you. Okay, now in this part of the test, uh, we're going to discuss about some topics, especially the topics that are related to part two.
Sure.
First, let's discuss about children and reading. Do you like children?
Yes, I love children because I had lots of children in my home because of my auntie and the other also. So yes, I love children.
So what do you think of the children's character?
I think we can never understand the children character because we never predict what they will do because they are really different kinds of children are there. So yes.
Okay. Do children love reading books?
I think yes, I have seen most of the children reading books. I mean, comic books and different kinds of stories related with the children life. They wants to read, and they are really interested in reading books also.
What kind of books you find them quite interested in reading?
Uh, that kind of book where pictures were shown,
Illustrations.
illustrations.
You mean to say that the books with profound illustrations?
And
That's
that
nice.
will help to inculcate different kinds of knowledge also in their life.
So, what are the benefits of parents reading books to their children? Like, are there any benefits if the parents read books?
Honestly speaking, I think that will be the prominent if the parents read their children books because if they know about the book, then they will help them to inculcate knowledge. So and they can taught their children in different ways, and their children doesn't need to find any kind of tutor or any of the other alternatives of it. They should not choose because their parents will help
Okay.
them.
So, do you think parents should always allow their children choose the books they want?
I think no, because children should choose or pick the book because parents might not understand about what kinds of book they wants to actually read. So children should decide whether which kinds of book which will helpful for them in near future days. So yes, children should decide rather than parents.
So, now let's talk about another topic, that's electronic books. So, do you sometimes read electronic books?
Yes, because I'm from middle class family and I don't have enough money to purchase certain books. So yes, I prefer to browse different kinds of website where we will accessible free kinds of books. So yes, I prefer electronic books sometimes.
How popular are electronic books in your country?
If I really have to talk about the situation of my country, then there are not peoples who prefer to read from electronic books, because in my country that much advanced technology are not implemented. So rather than finding a book in internet, they used to prefer go library or their different kinds of bookshops.
Okay. Like, what are the advantages of parents reading electronic books
Reading electronic books by your
as compared
parents,
to printed books?
I think there are huge benefits as compared to reading a books from newspaper or from library. The first one is there will be a free of cost. The one benefit they will get from reading a books from electronic device, and second one is they should not waste so many of papers, and they should not go for particular place to read a book. They can read in mobile phone also, smartphone, because we have lots of smartphone nowadays also. So yes, these are the two reasons which they will get.
So, do you think that at one point of time the electronic books can replace the printed books?
I think I should go honest with your views, because as far as I'm concerned, there are lots of electronic websites are there to read a book, but uh, rather than reading electronic books, most of the elder citizens prefer to read a book in personally. So these are the traditional systems also. So they want to preserve these traditional systems also. So they will prefer to read book in library and any other kinds of bookshops. So it will not replace a book.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. This is the end of the test. Thank you very much. Okay, okay, let me give you some comments.
Sure, sir.
Now, let's talk about part one. Okay, it was so good that you initiated your speech very well and you tried to maintain your fluency. That was good, very good. And you also used good vocabularies, but the problem is that you had some grammatical errors. Okay, so one or two places I found grammatical mistakes, so I think you need to improve this.
Sure, sir.
So moving to the part two, okay, the most important part of your speech was that you maintained or you chose past tense because the topic wanted you to speak in past. That was very nice. But while you were speaking at the middle point, you used one word that was allowed. Okay, that was your mistake. And some other places too, I find minor grammatical errors. Okay, and moving to the part three, it was so good that you initiated very well and you tried, to focus on the content and the way you managed your coherence was good. And the flow of his speech was also nice. So overall it was good, but despite the fact that there were some grammatical errors. Okay? So, and another important thing is try to make a bit more complex type of sentences while speaking. Otherwise everything is okay. Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.